we are planning to build on this. We are launching a series called The Design Way by a designer called Harold Nelson. So let me summarize that entire series with one sentence. And then, oh, you got it.
I finally got it, yeah.
And I want to relate it to everything that we've been talking about in Bronowski. So I want to pitch the design way in the terms of Bronowski. I will say that man is a designing animal. And that captures the nature of man better than I have seen it captured. Now I'm going to go through the points that Bronowski makes across episodes. In the first episode, he talks about man as distinguished from other animals by the fact that he can plan the future. Instead of future just happening to him, he can plan the future. That is the heart of design. You're trying to plan your future, what do you need to happen? And design is all about planning for that. It is looking into the future. In the episode, I think it was the second episode, he talks about the hand. Mm-hmm. And he talks about the hallmark of man is his transforming ability, his ability to transform his environment. That is design. Design is a word for transforming, looking into the future, getting all the data from the senses, putting it together, understanding the causes, and then transforming the nature. Benjamin Franklin, he talks about Benjamin Franklin talking about man as a tool-making animal, making of tools and making of everything with tools is an act of design. It is a deliberate, intentional way of shaping something as opposed to just reacting to things. Bronowski talks about the cause of ascent of man as being the personal commitment of an individual to his own skill. This is man, the designer, who is confident about his own skill. Skill is the ability to design in whatever field. He talks about the social solitary. Design is a service. Design is a product that you make for others using your own understanding as best as you can. So it is a marriage of you putting things together in your head based on the requirements of the people that you're serving, producing something that is useful to them. None of this happens without both I and the community. He talks about the long childhood. Designing, the designer first designs himself, and then he continues to design. Being a designer is not an end state. It is a process of continuously designing and redesigning. And that is what it means to have a long childhood, being continuously open to the possibilities of what can be, and not just passively watching them, but actively with your hands building in the direction in which you think you and your community needs to go. Bronowski stresses the concept of responsibility. In the final episode, he talks about the responsibility of scientists. That is a crucial concept. Design is not just a fad, not just something, a free expression of something. It is a expression in order to serve certain purposes. And you have to evaluate both at the level of the moral purpose, your ideal that you're trying to achieve. You have to take into account the real context, and you have to use the best use of your mind to resolve all the contradictions that you can see in the way. So it is a unity of metaphysics, epistemology, and ethics, what Harold Nelson calls the real, the true, and the ideal. It's a profound concept. If you just get this concept, design, as presented by Harold Nelson, what happens is that words have all kinds of meaning, and different people put different meanings in it. And we start using them in a certain way. And just like coins that are passed around for too long, the meaning kind of wears out and you're just passing on this pieces of metal. That's what most words are. In order to understand this concept, you will need to empty the word design and then fill it up with meaning, which is what Harold Nelson has done. It's a profound book. It goes to the heart of the Western civilization. Western civilization's greatness lies in transformation of the world. It also brings in the aspects of the East, that of listening to your conscience, having an intuitive grasp of what is right, what needs to be, and going back and forth between this intuitive ability and rational ability, going back and forth, being a union of an artist and a scientist in one. That's what a designer is. So it is a profound philosophical concept. And we are going to study it. It's going to be a very serious endeavor. It's a project. So only if you're really interested in diving deep into it, please join us. It's going to be Mondays at 9 p.m. I invite everybody to join, because to design is to be human. Whether you're designing a sentence you're speaking, whether you're wearing clothes, whatever it is that you're making, whether you're cooking, whether you're building a building, whether you're writing software, whether you are designing your interactions with your community, all of it is design. Harold Nelson has this beautiful example of two fishes talking, one fish asks the other, "What is this thing called water?" In some sense, that's what we are asking when we are saying what is design, because design is all of culture. Culture is design. Secondly, we've been studying Tao Te Ching. Tao Te Ching focuses on nature. It shows the importance of focusing on nature. This book, Design Way, focuses on culture and talks about how we should think about culture, everything that we make. It gives us a profound concept. It gives us a way of examining everything that we are doing. And I am taking this challenge to heart, and I am trying to design a way of discussing this book, Design Way, that will do justice to it. So I'm going to start with an overview. I have some incredible people lined up as panelists, but I'm going to invite everybody. Just like, this is our standard format where everybody gets to speak about what they got from it. But this is a very deep endeavor. It's going to span quite a bit of time, and it's going to be transformative for me. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to become a better designer. I'm not good enough. Okay, I can improve a lot more than I have, and I want to explicitly think about this. So I invite you to join us. We have, in CJ, we have got an incredibly good resource. He loves the book. He has dissected the book in many ways. He has done more than 25 meetups on the book. He has written pages and pages of material. And so he is going to be there to advise me about how we can, what we can do. But I will do the design. I take the full responsibility of the design of this series of meetups. And I'm going to do it in my own way. What I have found, I just read the book. It's the fastest read that I've done in a long time. I went through the entire book in 4 days. Okay, I couldn't stop. I have rigged my Kindle so it can speak to me whenever so I can go between reading and walking and reading and walking. And so I can be doing this all the 24 hours a day, except when I'm doing on meetups. I can't do that. I don't have 2 channels, doesn't work for me. But other than that, I've been doing that, and it is incredible. It is truly incredible. And the most incredible thing about it is that it is actually using the same kind of ideas that 52 Living Ideas has been using. Order and chaos. And how do you live at the edge of order and chaos? Orality and literacy. How do they work together? Science and art. It just goes, list goes on and on. It is, yin and yang. What is the dance and how do you manage it? So many of those themes are going to be very familiar to you. So, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to try to keep summarizing the book in a way which is accessible to everybody. Okay, so that's my job of trying to summarize it. And I'm going to listen closely. We're going to have Jean join us. She's an architect. She says, I have not read this book, but this is what I do all the time. I've been doing for the past 30 years. So she's going to be joining us. Maritza is going to be joining us. She's been studying Louis Sullivan, who is also another architect whose expression is far more artistic than Harold Nelson, but and Harold Nelson is far more systematic and in some ways academic, but they are trying to get at the same thing. So there are 2 different approaches to it. So we will integrate that in. Joe has participated in a whole bunch of meetups of CJ. So we'll leverage all of that. A whole bunch of people from Thinking Society are familiar with the book. So we're going to leverage that. I'm going to keep inviting more and more people to join us. And it is going to be incredible. So I think this is going to be the best series that we have done. So I invite you to join in